All right, part 2 of Rachel geeking out with her rocks here. Why the fuck not, right? So again, pre-night healer stone, master healer stone, the stone that heals the healer. This is dealing with heart chakra energy. It often has black tourmaline in it, which is that protection, that psychic ethereal protection that we need when we're doing the healing work. And it's very, very peaceful, I find. A very peaceful, serene kind of energy to it. But definitely a worthwhile one if you're doing that sacred work, that spirit work. If you're a medical professional, this is a good one too, to kind of like have on you or wear when you're doing the work. So that's one of my tops. I have to bring some credit to rose quartz and strawberry quartz. Strawberry quartz is probably my preferred, one of my favorites. And I just found some really cool new strawberry quartz beads, so I'm super excited to get jewelry making and crafting with those. But strawberry quartz and the rose quartzes, these are trauma healers. These are heart healers in their own right. Quartz energy can be a little bit jumpy, so it's not one you want to wear all the time or have at your bedside. But it's plentiful. And strawberry quartz I find a little bit harder to find, although I'm seeing it more often. Maybe it's because I'm always on the lookout for it now, but I'm seeing it more often, which may mean that there's a new vein opened up, being mined here. I love those little mica shimmers there that it gives off too. It refracts in the right light here too. But strawberry quartz is a beautiful stone to work with when you're doing emotional healing, heart healing, as is the rose quartz. But this is like deep-rooted childhood traumas. When you want to go back and sometimes even past life stuff, strawberry quartz is a real good one to work with, I find. Anyways, let's see, other favorites. What are some of my other favorites? I have to bring up my newfound love is green onyx. Oh, I think it's just stunning. It's almost like a milky, creamy green. Got another chunk over here. This is my Hopi's chunk. It's just something, it's almost marble-like. It is a heavy stone, a dense, very dense stone. I don't believe it's as porous, though, as something like an agate. It is an onyx after all, but it's very heavy. So it comes with a lot of grounding energy to it. Now black onyx does definitely feel like it's not as dense. It's a little bit lighter, and I'm not just saying because of the size here. But the stone itself wears a little bit better than, let's say, the green onyx does. And of course, we're dealing with heart chakra energy. Nurturing stone, some other little tidbits in there in relation to what you can do in regards to healing. It's a worthwhile one, but less information available in the broad sense of things, or historically I should say, on green onyx. It was more used in building, constructing, whereas you'll see more of the black onyx used for the spiritual work, psychic protection kind of elements. But again, I'm really, just this one I'm very fascinated by. And onyx itself, as it grows, is another very marvelous process of the temperature and the connections it makes as it's growing. Sodalite's a great one if you're having trouble sleeping. It's also known as the dream catcher stone. It tends to run little veins of orange calcite in it. Is this someone happening? Yeah, a little bit right in there. So it's good for that both sacral energy and the throat chakra if you're doing chakra work. But again, it's a good one to kind of bring peace, balance, another speak your truth stone, and definitely a good sleep aid. I've actually fallen asleep, and I'm someone who struggles with insomnia here and there in life anyways. But I find if I've got my, again, maybe it's pseudo effect, but if I've got my sodalite kind of in hand, I can crash pretty good that way. It's not long after. Snowflake Obsidian, so a small chunk I have. Snowflake Obsidian is also one of my favorite stones. Now, if you're a New Englander, that kind of makes sense. Maybe it's in the name. But Obsidian, of course, is like a kind of thermalized glass, volcanic glass that forms. And I'm not sure if this is orange calcite in there or not on these little flecks here with the Obsidian. Rainbow obsidian is also really, really cool if you can look at that underneath the light sometimes too. But I love snowflake obsidian. It's a happy little stone. It's, again, another good one. A protection stone, a grounding stone. It's just fun. Like, there's always something to ogle, something to marvel at in the stone. And checking out how it's formed is really a neat story to it as well. Yeah, those are probably my top ones. I've got some copper here too. It's a little aged now, a little oxidized, but copper is another great metal, mineral that I like seeing in its natural form too. All of this it's not heat treated. This is really how it comes. And then, of course, this is melted down. This is, like I said, a little bit more oxidized, which is what makes it that green color. And this has been kind of hanging out in my bathroom for a couple of years, so that probably doesn't help it any when it comes to the oxidization. We're getting the humidity in there and stuff. But copper is another really great stone, and copper itself has a long history of antimicrobial properties. That's why we see a lot of copper cups and bowls and pitchers and things like that. They knew what they were doing. It definitely breaks down bacteria, and again has its own little other antimicrobial properties to it. That's a really great image right there. Good chunk of copper. So, but yeah, that's some of the few. I've got a teeny little piece of lapis lazuli that is also on my top listers. Lapis lazuli was the Egyptian stone, of course, and it reminded Egyptians back in the day of the night sky because we get those little pyrite flecks in it. Pyrite, of course. This guy over here, yeah, it's a very masculine energy is the pyrite, and also known as fool's gold. But you'll see little chips of veins of gold, little sparkles in the blue, and I just love it. I think I'm gonna drill a hole right here through the top of it and wear it as a pendant. Got another piece of stromatolite I'm gonna do the same thing for. I don't know, there's blue kyanite. Oh, I know another favorite stone. Yes, of course, is Epidote. This is a tiny piece of it. I wonder if we can get it on a right amount of light here to show you. Epidote is very similar looking to like black tourmaline, I think. Similar, but not really. Maybe selenite would be a better one as to how it grows. And there's only one spot I can think of that Epidote grows off the top of my head, and that is in Vermont, as well as orange garnets. Vermont has a good supply of both Epidote and orange garnets, and Epidote is a great one for like recharging other stones, as well as selenite cleans them. Epidote is another one to like boop, instantly kind of recharge their batteries energetically and clean them out. Which, if you don't know, some stones you clean by moonlight, some stones you clean by water, some stones you clean by sunlight. Depends on the stone itself, where it grows, what it's made of, what its mineral content is, all that stuff. But Epidote is a good one to use on all of them. And another favorite stone, of course, is garnet, Amadine garnet. Now, this one I probably purchased somewhere in my travels over the years. Real simple. It's very hard to see, but it is that lovely, like, deep red, maroonish color, garnet color. And then this one I actually pulled out of the local river. So, of course, being in Vermont, garnets are in supply here, and you can go panning, or you can even just kind of like chip them off the rocks in the riverbed. I have somewhere around the house too, just a stone growing, a river stone growing little garnets out of it, and we know them as mud garnets. This is a little garnet from the local river. Apatite is another of my favorite stones, of course. This is a very blue piece. This is more of a blue-green piece. It's kind of got that ocean coloration to it. Apatite, of course, is a stone of speaking the truth, yes, or revealing the truth. This is a revealer stone back in the Greek and Roman times at their height. And it's also the stone associated with weight loss. Now, whether that has to do with throat chakra, heart chakra, whatever, I'm not certain. But this clearly is that balance between the two. And yeah, so weight loss stone and secrets revealed stone, truth speaker stone. So apatite. This is, of course, a polished palm stone. This is just a little guy I recently picked up. This one's probably from Brazil, given its coloration, or it's very young. Whereas this one's a little bit older. Again, colorations on stones, variations of coloration on stones. I mentioned fluorite earlier. This is another band of quartz fluorite. You know, I get the purple there, the clear underneath it. And then this is fluorite just starting, right? So baby fluorite crystallization right there. Starting out with that purple. Sometimes, but not all the times. This is a local fluorite too. Or this is New Hampshire. This is somewhere in New Hampshire. Fluorite formation, right? So same stone, different colors, different ages for sure, right? And again, depending on their mineral properties and what's in the environment, how they grow, determines their coloration and all that other good stuff. A little bit of rhodochrosite here. Now, I'm not sure. This is one I've always been meaning to kind of like connect with somebody on, whether this is serpentine, possibly, or new jade is my guess with it. But don't know where it came from. Had it for, gosh, 25, 30 years now. No clue what it is. It's my big mystery. So somebody out there, try and get a nice close-up. Maybe somebody out there who's a little bit wiser than me, there we go, can help me figure this one out. Is it serpentine? Is it new jade? Looks very calcified. It's very lightweight, right? It could even be, but I doubt it. Yeah, no, it's not green calcite. I'd go more for an agate. But I don't see lines. I don't see the bands. And this kind of giveaway here, it makes me think it's in the serpentine family. But nonetheless, if you know what that is, hey, shoot me if you have a guess even. It'd be fun conversation with Rachel's Rocks, which is really cool. Love this stuff. I wanted to bring up Shivalingams. It's all in a name, right? It's all in a name. Shivalingams. So, of course, they're imported, yes, from India, primarily, given the name especially. And here's what happens with Shivalingams, right? So, when it rains and pools form, all the rocks get swirled around and swirled around and swirled around. And, you know, sometimes they break off in layers. Here's the layers, right? Here's that layering of, you know, bedrock versus silt and, you know, whatever else is in there. And it gets rolled around and it gets rolled around and it gets rolled around and it forms these smooth edges, just like all rocks do in water, right? But of course, it's all in a name and we know it as Shivalingam, the imported stone, or the stones from India. But they're formed this way because of the pools they're in. They break it off in chunks, and then after time, the stone forms. So there's Shivalingam. Celestite. Celestite is one of my top stones. This is the dream stone, of course. This is another bedside stone to have to bring you peaceful dreams. It's not the dream catcher stone like sodalite is. This is more of like, let there be peace of mind, peaceful energy. It is a tough one, like full moons, to have around because again, the energy kind of like whoop gets all wonky with it, and it tends to like keep you really alert. But otherwise, it's a really sweet stone to have at bedside. Bring you some really cool, vivid dreams. I think it's a astral projection stone, if I remember right. So it may aid in that, and that's why it originates to keep at the bedside. But Celesteite's another beautiful one. This is a great one for necklaces too. When it's drilled, it looks really pretty with all those little fractals there, like a disco ball. Yeah. So that's the fun part about stones. Checking them all out. Desert Rose, of course. This is an old, worn, beat up piece. Like this is from the 1970s. It's been around in my family. And yeah, not really one of my top favorite stones, but a neat one nonetheless because of its formation. So yeah, all sorts of things to play with. Got some bloodstone here. Bloodstone, a master healer stone for cardiovascular system. Very, very popular in ancient Greek and Roman times. They had this stuff everywhere. Made all sorts of decor and vessels with it. Also ground it. It could be ground up and used that way. It's a very good one to use to do like deep tissue work, tissue massage work. It's often used in, and yeah, just another good stone to have on hand. Aragonite is another one. This is a little chunk I've had here for a minute. It too is a trauma healer stone. It too deals with like past life and much like strawberry quartz here, past life work, childhood wounding, that sort of thing. Its energy is very uplifting in and of itself. It's actually really light. It's a really fun stone to look at. You know, aragonite is, with all those different little directions it takes. Here with its formation. A little funky little stone. There's aragonite, but a good one for trauma healing. Yes. And fun little conversation piece. Howlite's a nice stone too. I like white howlite. All right, so that's it for now there, kiddos, and I hope you enjoy. Ocean Jasper. If you have any questions about some of the stones you see here, or just stones in general, whether it's their healing properties or their growth, formation, I love sharing stories. I love playing the guessing game, and of course trying to help people out. If you have any questions about my stones in particular, go ahead and shoot me a message, or if you want to just say that was fucking hilarious, you can say that too. Why not, right? We're having fun here. Oh, here's another one I don't know, and I want to know. It's like right on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't remember its name. And I try to think, okay, what is the composition of this thing? Right? But I just can't remember. It's like little, it's almost like the dendrite agate with those little black little shoots in it, and then it's not. It's very opaque, very light, doesn't break, like it's not chalky. It's really, really hard. So if anybody knows what that one is, or have any guesses, please shoot me a message on that one too. Fun stuff. Okay, that's it for now. Part 2's over, and